Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 shots and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. It is Friday, the best day of the week. Jason Swain, Seth Stokes, and maybe it's the best day of the week because Ben McKee is back in the Low T Center studio for the first time this week. Rocking his College World Series t-shirt because he did a great job of covering the College World Series for the Tennessee fans. Seth Stokes, Irish Networks Hotline. Stokes, Ben, good morning.
Stokes, you there?
Good morning, Stokes.
Yep, I'm here now. I heard that beat. There we go.
I forgot that I'm actually in charge of the phones today. Good morning, Stokes. I hope you're doing well.
I hope you are too. I hope you had safe travels and a good time covering the College World Series and, living life, doing what you love, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, Stokes, Ben is here, so
Barely.
I think he experienced some safe travels.
Well, hey, you can make it to your destination and it'd be a bumpy ride now.
Yeah. How was the flight yesterday, man? I know you were in the O'Hare Chicago Airport. Did you get a good workout in the airport?
Yesterday was absolutely miserable. The worst travel day I've ever had in my life. I don't fly a ton, so that helped expedite the process of it being one of the worst travel days of my life. I was traveling literally from the end of yesterday's show to what feels like the beginning of today's show. And it's all Mother Nature's fault because my flight in Omaha got delayed by 2 hours because of weather in the Chicago area. And they were delaying folks from flying into Chicago, and the flight that was actually flying into Omaha that I was going to get on. Once that group of people got off, I was going to get on the plane, and then that plane was going to turn around and take me to Chicago. They had to reroute the plane 45 minutes south to avoid a storm on the way to Omaha, so my plane was late getting there. Then the rain that they had to go around was in Chicago, so the air traffic control people in Chicago were telling incoming planes to hold off on leaving. So that delayed my flight from Omaha 2 hours. I finally get on the plane, and we sit on the runway for like 20 minutes, waiting for the go-ahead to even leave the Omaha airport. We finally leave, and we experienced some bad turbulence, which was not fun because I do not like roller coasters because of the feeling that it gives my body like I am out of control. So got to go through that on my flight to Chicago. I get to Chicago, and as I am landing at 1:30 Central Time, our wheels hit the ground in Chicago from Omaha at 1:30 Central Time. My flight to Nashville was leaving. So I missed my connection flight because we were delayed 2 hours in Omaha. So I was thinking, oh, no big deal. I'll just go to customer service and they'll put me on the next flight, which they did. So instead of a 50-minute layover, which was what it was originally, I had a 1 hour and 20-minute layover. So I hadn't eaten yet that day because I went straight from the show when I got off yesterday at the end of the hour 2 and went straight to the airport. I had like a Pop-Tart, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I went over to food court, got me some grub.
Did you see a Portillo's?
A what?
A Portillo's.
No.
In Chicago, did you see any type of Italian beef sandwiches or?
I saw McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks.
Okay.
I actually got a cheap food court, Chinese food, Asian food.
So you live in Chicago Airport, but you didn't get a chance to experience any of the Chicago, I guess, what Chicago's famous for with their food.
No.
So you didn't see any of those restaurants.
No. And I would not have known whether it was famous or not. So, no, I just had basic. It was as if I was at the mall just eating Asian food in the food court.
Gotcha.
It was good. I regretted it this morning. But so I had that hour and a half layover after missing my flight because weather delayed my flight in Omaha. So not a big deal. Finally get on the plane to leave Chicago. Everything's going smoothly. 5 minutes from taking off in Chicago, and the pilot comes over the plane and says that there's a part wrong, messed up in the cockpit. Something with the way that they communicate with air traffic control. Something is messed up. So this is interesting, but he felt like it was good enough to fly, but the maintenance workers did not feel like it was fit to fly.
Hey, man.
So the maintenance workers did not sign off on the log after that flight had just flown in from Tucson, Arizona. Didn't feel like the plane was fit to fly, so didn't sign off on it. So they try to go find a part, and so they pull us off the plane after being 5 minutes from taking off, and they say it'll be an hour. We got this part. We're taking a part off of a broken plane. Another interesting part to the story. Taking a part from a broken plane, going to put it on my plane, which made me feel a little weird. Taking a part from a broken plane and putting it on my plane that I'm going to fly on. Say that again, Stokes.
I said, ain't no reason to feel weird about that. That part might not have been broke.
I know. But just the theory of it kind of makes you wonder, makes you a little concerned. So they say it's going to be an hour fix. Not ideal, whatever. I'm going with the flow. Then they come over the speaker at my terminal, at my gate, and say, it'll be an hour delay. They added an hour, so it's going to end up being a 2-hour fix. So instead of departing at 4:30, which is what I was supposed to leave Chicago at, I'm leaving at 6:30 now. I was like, all right, give me some donuts and coffee. And I get back to the gate after going to get coffee, and they canceled my flight altogether. They just canceled it all together, which also means that several other people had canceled flights. And because of weather, there were a lot of people in the airport who had canceled flights that day or delayed flights, so missed a connect flight or something. So there were a lot of people trying to find spots on airplanes that did not exist, and I was one of those people. So I go to guest services, and the guy says, all right, you're on standby, but the plane leaves in 5 minutes, and it's 2 gates over. And the Chicago airport it's actually not even 2 gates over. It's like 2 terminals over, 2 letters over. I got my standby ticket in G, and I had to run to K. So I'm running through the airport trying to catch this standby flight. I get to the standby flight. I'm 13th on the standby list. There's zero chance I'm making it onto this flight, which I didn't. So I go back to guest services where I ran from, and they put me on another standby flight, and I'm first in line, which is good news, obviously. But they say this plane's leaving in 5 minutes, and it's even further than the one I just had to run to. So I take off again through the Chicago airport with radio equipment in one hand, a backpack full of crap on my back in the other. And I get to the gate, and they change the gate on me back to where I just came from. So I had to run back to that gate, and I get there all to see that my flight was delayed an hour. So I did all that running around for nothing. So
you got a good workout here.
I did. So that flight left at 8:05, and I made it, thankfully. And they bumped me down in the process. I somehow got bumped from first on the standby list to second out of 17. So I felt good about being second out of 17. But how'd I go from 1 to 2? I don't understand that. But they let 3 people on that plane, so I made it on. Flew to Nashville, got to Nashville at 9:30 last night, and then had to drive over to Knoxville. So yesterday was a long day.
You awake? I mean, there was a question about being awake this morning. I think he's awake, Stokes, because his chili is hot right now. So
his chili is definitely hot. Hey,
he's
look
hot.
at it. Look at your experience there in the airport. You got your 2 donuts. Then you had the opportunity to get some exercise to run those donuts off.
I never even got to eat the donuts or drink the coffee because I got back and they canceled the flight. So I went to guest services, and I was with my buddy Ryan Shumpert, and he was booking stuff on his phone. Because,
what an idea.
Yes, but I couldn't book on my phone because I had missed my other flight. So it didn't update on my phone, so I wasn't even getting updates about the flight that got canceled. So I didn't have the opportunity to book on my phone. So he was, quote, watching my coffee and donuts while I went to guest services to get a new ticket. And then that's when they sent me running across the airport thinking that I was barely going to make this plane. And then he had to leave in order to make his flight. He got a lift to the other airport in Chicago to fly out. And then he had his flight delayed like 3 times last night. Yeah, he went to Midway and was flying out at like 9, and then it got delayed like twice on him.
I got something for you.
So I didn't even get to eat the donuts and coffee, Stokes.
Man, I got something for you. You alive.
I am.
You didn't get on the plane that crashed. You alive. You alive, Ben. It's all good, man. You're going to do the show, and you can go to sleep, and we'll take you to a donut spot and get you a dozen donuts.
Yeah.
And then if you want some coffee, we'll get you a gallon of coffee.
I'm going to Atlanta right after the show's over.
Oh, well, you can get some on the way out.
Sleep is for the weary.
You can get
No,
some.
but that is the way that I looked at it. I know I'm moaning and complaining. I'm more so just explaining my wild day yesterday. But
It's crazy.
The perspective that I have on the situation is that God was looking over me and put a 2-hour delay on that flight from Omaha on purpose because of bad weather. And then he also canceled that flight because of whatever the airplane part that was messed up in Chicago. So I think that was my perspective on the situation, is that God delayed and canceled those 2 flights on purpose.
We here, man. We here today. Stokes, Ben, we're here today. A lot of developments happened yesterday. Tennessee baseball certainly affected by some of the developments in the SEC. As LSU fills their coaching vacancy with the baseball coach. And then Tennessee made a roster adjustment. That's what we'll call it. A roster adjustment. That's what they did. They adjusted the roster yesterday. They dismissed freshman quarterback Caden Salter. Literally, Austin Price tweeted it out right after the show ended yesterday. So great timing to drop that. But Stokes, your thoughts on the player coming in? Many of us thought that he would have a chance to compete for the starting job as a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even take a snap, man. In spring, fall camp, nothing. Game, nothing. And dismissed before any of that could happen. Your thoughts on Caden Salter's short time here at Tennessee?
It was a short but tumultuous time for Mr. Salter in Knoxville, and you hate to see a kid ruin a great opportunity. He made one mistake earlier, gets reinstated, everything's good, and then he turns back around and makes another big mistake. And I know there's a contingent of people out there. It's like, it's just weed. And, I get that. But until it's legalized there, you got to obey the rules. I don't care if it's just whatever. Rules are rules. He broke the rules. He's supposed to be a quarterback, which means he's got to hold himself to a higher standard. The leadership on the team, player leadership on the team, wanted more accountability. And, Heupel didn't really have much of a choice at this point. You can't just let the guy do what he wants to do just because he's a quarterback. He hadn't proven himself. And not saying you should, even if he has proven himself, but we all know that star players get some little different treatments than everybody else. But this ain't the case. And he wasn't a star yet. He made mistakes. He's got to be punished for those mistakes. He's got to be held accountable for those mistakes. I hope he can get his life right and figure it out down the road and is successful and wherever he lands. But I just hope he gets it all figured out, because obviously this is somebody that he's got some issues that he's got to deal with.
It's not even the weed. And it's something we talked about, it feels like for the last couple of days. It's the principle of what happened. It don't matter if he had like an open container in his car. It doesn't matter if, he had a pound of weed. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that he was dismissed for the entire spring and had worked his way back to earn the trust of his teammates and coaches.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure he had a meeting with his coaches before reinstatement. And the promise I'm sure he made to the coaches, the promise I'm sure he made to his parents, and then 3 weeks after being reinstated, turned around and put himself in that position.
Yep.
Sometimes it's not about whether you're innocent or guilty. It's about the position that you put yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're a student athlete, just the fact that you put yourself in that position says you're being selfish. Simple as that. It don't matter if the weed was his or not. It don't matter. It's 3:00 in the morning. You just got off suspension. Why are you putting yourself in that position? There was times that I allowed myself to be put in position and something popped off, but I didn't do anything wrong. But I still could have handled that better because I allowed myself to be put in that position. And once I started thinking like, all right, let me be really, really careful about the environment I put myself in, the people I'm around, it made it a whole lot easier to stay out of trouble. You know, it's after 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you know the risk of getting in trouble raises by the hour, by the minute. So that's what it's more about. And I was really good either way, whether, you know, if they kept him, because I knew he wasn't going to play. And, you know, he's a freshman. So I don't know any freshman that, like, really serves as, like, a huge distraction when they don't play. So you can, you know, kind of treat him like a walk-on and give him the help he needs and, you know, shouldn't cause much issue. But I was also good with them dismissing him because this is Heupel's first season. You got to set the tone.
Yep.
You got to set the tone. So, you know, you brought in a quarterback and Joe Milton that has multiple years of eligibility, and then you have a chance to go out and get another quarterback in recruiting. So it was something that probably had to be done. You know, we're not in that locker room, so we don't know how fragile the leadership is or the accountability or the morale. We don't know how fragile it is at this point or how strong it is at this point. So was Salter a distraction or was it a situation where you just need to cut bait and give him an opportunity to go get a second chance? But no one's faulting Josh Heupel for making this decision. I think this was the right decision for him.
Yeah.
His first big test that he passed as far as the discipline that he's setting. We got we got LSU filling the baseball coaching vacancy. Tony Vitello, they had a fan appreciation day yesterday. We'll talk about that and much more coming up. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Seth Stokes, Ben McKee. Stokes is joining us on the Irish Networks hotline this morning. Stokes, being right quick, I was taking a look at Malachi Wadman's note on his Twitter account. One thing that kind of stood out to me was he says, I am embarking on a future that will allow me to showcase my God-given talents on a solid platform in basketball and football. I will always have love for Tennessee and my fellow teammates, but this time God has compelled me to choose another path. I have entered the transfer portal. And, he still has aspirations of playing both. And that's a little surprising. And playing both is hard. Doing that at Tennessee was certainly hard when you have a coach like Rick Barnes that's so demanding. I mean, it's really tough, and you have to be really mature and be great with your time management, and you better take care of your body. And hopefully he's ready to do those things because his physical talents are undeniable. The reason why he didn't get on the football field as we thought we was going to see, and I'm pretty sure what he thought. It goes back to this game being 90% mental. Maturity. This game is 90% mental. And so if your mentals are not where it needs to be, it's hard to play one sport at this level, let alone two. So hopefully he's able to just understand that it's not about your physical tools. It's about mentally being disciplined and blocking out distractions and focusing and being mentally tough. So hopefully he's able to do that. But looks like he still wants to play basketball and football, guys. We'll see. It just won't be at Tennessee.
Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Feels like Stokes, he should focus on getting on the field or court in one sport before he tries to play both sports.
Yeah, I mean, why, it doesn't seem like he's, the athleticism is there. But it's if you don't have, and it's not, I'm not saying he doesn't have the capacity, but if he hasn't shown the ability to get one playbook down, how's the coach gonna be okay with him going to add anything else to his plate?
Yeah.
That's like just exactly what Swain just said. If you can't get the mentals down in one sport, how you gonna go play two?
Yep. You can't be a jack of all trades and then a master of none. I mean, there's a lot of things that us three we've talked about doing with the show to add to it, but it's like, if we start adding stuff, are we able to, keep up the show and the other things that's important? So
can you maintain the game?
Exactly.
That's the big thing.
Yeah. So it's two of us in the studio. We got you. Doing things remotely, but you start adding responsibilities, and it's already enough to do what we're doing now. But do what you can handle and master that. So if that's football, master that. If that's basketball, master that. It'd be one thing if we saw him out there balling as a freshman at one sport, but we didn't see him in any sport. So it's his life, though. It's his decision. That's just our take on the deal. Guys, what was your reaction when you saw that LSU filled their baseball coach vacancy? They are hiring Arizona's coach, and that means now Arizona has a vacancy. But Arizona it is a nice place now. It is nice, but Tennessee fans feeling really good about Tony Vitello staying here. So Jay Johnson going to LSU, and looks good for Tony Vitello in Tennessee, right? Right, guys? Feeling good?
I'm feeling a little bit better because LSU is an attractive place for a coach to go. But it ain't Vitello, which is nice. I'll feel better when that contract extension is signed. I'll just say that. It's going to be, as Tennessee fans, we are groomed to be nervous until something's on paper.
Yeah. I think something's going to happen within the next week. If the season's over, you have Fan Appreciation Day, so you got a chance to really shake hands with the fans, and that should let you know, man, where you want to be. I know he wants to be here, but I think that's kind of the nail in the coffin, and it's just about there's a lot of things with this contract that needs to be addressed. Like Tony Vitello's first contract or his current contract under Curry, man, I feel bad for Tony Vitello, man.
But you know what?
He didn't get anything.
Got here,
no.
And he proved it. He proved himself. And now he can sit there and look at Danny White and go, what you going to do?
Yeah.
Because right now my phone's buzzing a lot.
His current contract he got nothing for taking his team to Omaha. Like, think about that, man. Like, think about if Rick Barnes went to the Final Four, but he don't get a bonus for that. That's asinine.
Well, he didn't get a bonus because he waived it because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
He would have. I mean, he would have gotten a bonus. It would not have been much, but he would have gotten something had he not waived his. He would have made. He would have got 28% of his base pay of $300,000. He made $300,000 this year, or he made $600,000. I'm sorry, and he would have gotten 28% of that for making the College World Series, 24% for hosting a Super Regional as a top 8 seed, 20% for appearing in a Super Regional, 16% for winning SEC regular season or SEC tournament. That did not happen, so he would not have gotten that one. 12% for hosting a regional as a top 16 seed, did that. 4% for making the SEC tournament. So it would not have been.
His incentives are trash.
Yes, they were. $10,000 for being named National Coach of the Year, either by
that's trash.
American Baseball Coaching Association or Baseball America.
His incentives were trash.
Yes, I don't know how they compare to other schools, but on the surface, they appear to be trash.
It's why he has Jimmy Sexton as agent.
Yes.
So, he didn't have Jimmy Sexton as agent at this point in 2020. It's the reason why he has Jimmy Sexton as agent. Mm-hmm. So, incentives were trash. Contract was not Tony Vitello friendly, and I think that is something that will need to be addressed.
But it also makes sense why the contract was what it was. I mean, he had never been a head coach before, never proven himself. It's not like he was coming in with this dazzling resume.
You still give someone an opportunity to reach some incentives. If they get to the World Series or to get to, the Coach of the Year, $10,000. I mean, that's
it's trash. I'm with you, but I think if you looked at contracts across the country of first-time head coaches, because the sport of baseball doesn't turn a profit, I bet they would look very similar, if not the same.
Well,
I think it's more of a college baseball issue
I won't get
than a Tennessee issue.
I won't get into details. I'm just going to tell you, it's the reason why he has Jimmy Sexton as an agent.
Well, yeah, now, but I'm saying at the time of when he signed the contract, it made sense of why these incentives are what they are.
I mean, if you say so. I mean,
it's just different than football and basketball.
I understand that it's different, but I think you would, if you are an AD, that you would put some really, really, really good incentives in place that's better than what he had. And so it could be baseball in general, but, Jimmy Sexton is here for a reason, and that is to make sure that Tony Vitello is taken care of if he continues to win. If for some reason the next 2-3 years he doesn't do anything and he gets canned, then he can get paid. Also, if Tennessee is not building things and improving the stadium at the rate that Tony would like, then maybe there's an out for him without having to pay back a lot of money. I mean, there's just a lot of things in the contract that have to be worked out. There's the on-campus stadium, there's the off-campus stadium, there's a commitment to do things to the on-campus stadium, but there's moving parts. You want things to be done as soon as possible. We understand that there's money that needs to be raised, but with the money that is already raised, what can we do now? What can we do now to, enhance the fan experience? What can we do now to add more seats? What can we do now? Those are questions that have to be answered. And then, okay, what's the timeline of when the other things are going to happen? What's the deadline? When am I going to see these things? If I'm Tony Vitello, I'm asking these questions. And if they're not done, does that mean that I can go somewhere else? Because I'm making a commitment to stay here. based on what was told to me that what the stadium can be in a year, or 2 years, or 3 years. So the coaching salary is important, but then the assistants, them getting taken care of. So there's a lot of moving parts, and so I would think that should be getting done sooner than later.
Yes, they're going through the process now of working out all the details now that they've had a couple of days to digest the season. And as we talked about earlier this week, when Tony Vitello said that he was focused on the current team, or when those who covered the baseball team said that he was focused on the current team and trying to win a national championship, he genuinely meant that. And that seems like a simple thing to say or point out. But in most cases, coaches are just talking just to talk and avoid, the question or the conversation when they say that they're focused on their team right now. Most coaches are BSing you when they say that. Tony Vitello was not. That doesn't mean that he didn't talk about anything stadium related or contract extension related throughout the course of the season. He did. He had small conversations through his agents. To my knowledge, he never sat down with Tennessee and had full-on lengthy conversations, but there was communication at minimum. So now that the season is over, after Tony Vitello was trying to win a national championship, more worried about that than a contract extension or taking another job. Now that all that's behind him and season's over and you've had a couple of days to get back to Knoxville and kind of find your footing and have a fan appreciation day, I would be shocked if they don't hammer something out in the next couple of days in terms of the details that you alluded to.
Yeah, it should go down, man. It should go down. So it looks like Tony is here to stay for a while. So kudos to the fans that met the team bus a couple days ago, and then kudos to the fans yesterday that was there at fan appreciation. So I saw some photos, look really, really cool. So are we going to get Stokes at a baseball game next year?
Have to.
That's the question.
Hey, it needs to happen. It's been a while since I've been over to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. It needs to happen.
What we need to do is go ahead and get season tickets, the Swain Event baseball season ticket package, and then just whenever you want to come, hey man, you come. Ben don't need any tickets because he covering the team, from the press box. So this could be our tickets, and Brad, we can split with Brad. It could be the Swain Event ticket package.
There we go.
We should have got it this past year. It was only like $130 something.
Oh dang!
It was nothing.
It will not be that price this year.
It's gonna be about $330, huh?
Talk about demand and lack of supply for that demand.
Supply and demand, baby. Supply and demand. They might be $350, maybe $400 for season tickets. But listen, things cost. So you want a bigger stadium, you got to pay for it, and everybody got to chip in. So I'm willing to pay a little bit more for season tickets.
I think most Tennessee fans understand that because you hear them, bemoan the ticket increase in football a lot of times, but football sucked for a while. So I get why am I going to pay more to see less?
Yeah.
But in baseball, it's good, so you're going to pay a little bit more.
Yep. So yeah, you make that comment about football, and the coach's job is to improve the product, right, on the football field by developing the players, recruiting, all that stuff. And then the administration's job is to make the games more enjoyable, make the fan experience a lot better. So that's what's being addressed. But it takes money to do that. It takes money to be able to improve Neyland Stadium and make those renovations. So that's what's going on, man. Keon Johnson jumping out of the gym at the combine. That what they call it, the super vertical, max vertical,
standing vert.
No, the 48 wasn't standing; it was running. That 48 and a half.
The both verts were record-setting.
Yeah. There is a standing vert.
Yeah.
And then there's like the
you get
super
2 or 3 steps.
Yeah, like the super or the max vert, which he had like 48.5. His standing was like 42.5 or 41.5, which is still ridiculous.
Still just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid, man.
To me, the standing vert is more impressive.
The standing vert is more impressive.
Mm-hmm.
The standing vert is more impressive.
You're different, if you can,
right,
which we already knew.
That's what we're all used to.
Bounce.
Yeah, we are used to the standing vert. Basketball, they do the running vert at the combine, but when you're testing in football, it's a standing vert, and that tests that explosiveness. Are you coming out of your hips? That's good for a linebacker, safety, really good for any position, because if you got a vert, that means you're explosive. But I knew Keon Johnson's vert was over 40 when he dunked it on our boy at Georgia.
He dunked all over that.
I mean, it wasn't a question that his vert was over 40. Wasn't a question. So
yes, which is why we talked yesterday that although these are stupid numbers, they're not necessarily going to help Keon's draft stock, just because everybody already knew he was a freak athlete. He's got to prove that he can handle the ball without turning it over and prove that he can shoot the outside shot.
It's just something, though, I mentioned this before. It's like the Al Davis, man. Like, you can watch film on a kid, he's fast, but it's something about when they get that official time or that official number. It's different. It's different. Like, I remember when I clocked Damiere Byrd in Texas. Oh, Damiere Byrd's a Chicago Bear now. I thought I mentioned it. Anyways, so Damiere Byrd, who went to
get you a jersey.
Nah, I'm good. If I get a jersey, it's going to be Justin Fields. But I'm not even do that.
I think you should get an Andy Dalton jersey.
No, I'm
since
not doing
he is
that.
QB1 and all.
If I get a jersey, it's going to be Amari Rodgers, Packers jersey, if I get one. Anyways, Damiere Byrd, we had heard that he was a track guy. We had heard that he was super, super fast. And he looked fast, but it was different when we got that official clock. When we hit that stop button and it said 4:25, it's like, oh yeah, this dude fast. That official time may entice a GM to pull the trigger, even though they knew he can jump and he was explosive. It's that time. That's that number seeing it. It's just different, man. So hopefully Keon Johnson. I don't know what team I want him to go to. I don't know. Maybe the
not
Grizz.
a crappy team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him to go to a. I don't want him to go to a big city that will swallow him up. I mean, he's from Shelbyville. He seems like a pretty simple dude.
I want him to go to a good organization. I don't want him to go to a team like the Kings that are notorious for not developing their players or putting together a good roster. I don't want him to get stuck in a crappy situation.
Oh, speaking of being in crappy situations, man. Stokes, are you a Hawks fan?
Dude, I am. I will not sit here and say that I am a big NBA guy. Like, I won't. Now, when I watch, I will pull for the Hawks because that's my home city. But I don't make – it's not appointment TV. I do pay a little more attention to NBA as a whole come playoff time because it is more exciting than it is in April, But as a whole, I'm not a big NBA guy. And the Hawks haven't really given me a reason to be a big NBA guy recently until now. And I've watched almost every game of the playoffs, and I don't know how they keep winning, but they keep winning. They just keep walking into other people's houses and putting their feet up on their table.
You're like me when it comes to like baseball and the White Sox. Like, yeah, I mean, go for the city's team, but like you don't really follow baseball like that.
But Chicago's team is the Cubs.
It depends on who you ask. It depends on who you ask.
Part of Chicago?
Justin Fields thinks that you can just go for both teams. He about to learn. he about to learn. You better pick one. You got to pick one. When you in Chicago, you can't go for both. Like you in New York, you can't be a Jets and Giants fan. It don't work that way. Or Mets and Yankees fan. Yeah, it don't work that way. You got to pick one, Fields. So you better watch your mouth, man. Casual Vol says Keon to Golden State. That'd be perfect.
I'd love to see that.
That would be perfect.
Oh, I'd get the the throwback Warriors, the gold one with the bridge logo on it on the front. I'd get that jersey with Keon so quickly.
They already got like a Keon type of player, Andrew Wiggins, but
well,
I would take it.
Here's the difference between Andrew Wiggins and Keon Johnson. Keon Johnson has a better mentality than Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
Keon is a dog. Andrew Wiggins is a beta.
I don't disagree with you.
Which is why he has not lived up to those number 1 overall pick expectations, because he is talented as all get out. But he
don't have the killer.
Nope.
Other McKee says the max vert is more impressive to me because it's more like playing basketball. I mean the standing vert you use more when when you're getting rebounds, when you are contesting shots. I mean, I don't know how many times you're really gonna be able to take 3 or 4 steps and then jump, unless you're like on a fast break or unless you hit somebody with a Euro step, you're about to finish around the lane. I just see the standing jump, being used a little bit more, but that's just me. I think both are important. That's why they do it. Keon, ball handling, jump shot, he gonna be good to go. If Lonzo Ball can change his jump shot, Keon Johnson can change his jump shot. He'll be just fine. He still does have Rick Barnes at his disposal. So, D'Arval says, D'Arval's awake. I'm surprised D'Arval's awake, man. All that trolling he was doing yesterday.
Ooh, he's collecting bodies, that's for sure.
Man. I don't know how D'Arval does it, man. I don't see how he does it. Looking at the text box this morning. D'Arval says, yes, we're feeling good. The sun is a little bit brighter today. What's sad is how much these football coaches make to be bad at their job, from VIB. Yeah, man. Football money is stupid. It is stupid. And I just don't understand why baseball coaches are not paid more. When you got GAs and freaking quality control guys making the same amount as some of the baseball coaches. It don't make sense to me at all. Well, it does, but still need to do something about it. Need to lift the sport up a little bit more. D. Cody says, what do you think about Danny White having to deal with Sexton now that Tony has retained him as an agent? Didn't Danny say he wouldn't deal with any Sexton guys or didn't want to deal with Sexton guys? I might be a little off. I don't know where Danny White said that. Has Danny White said that he wouldn't deal with any Sexton guys?
Nope.
Have you heard that, Stokes? Have you heard that?
I don't recall him saying that, but we can Google it and find out. But I don't recall like that. That's not something I hear and go, oh yeah. I remember saying that. I don't think so. I mean, I could, I'm not saying he's wrong. I have no recollection of that happening.
I think if you're an AD or if you're a GM of an organization, do you really like dealing with agents? Is it something that you like doing? Would you like doing that? No, you wouldn't like it. You would prefer to just go, work with the client, boom, 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 get everything done. But that's not the reality. You have to work with an agent. If you're an AD and if you're a GM, would you really enjoy working with Jimmy Sexton? Would you be looking forward to working with Jimmy Sexton?
No.
No, you wouldn't. Why? Because you know that Jimmy Sexton is going to squeeze every single penny out of you for their client, for his client. That's what he's going to do. And Jimmy Sexton has basically reset salaries for college football coaches because all of them he basically represents. He represents Jimbo Fisher. He represents Dan Mullen. He represents Nick Saban. So each year, like Jimmy Sexton is raising the bar, which only makes it tougher for everybody else who's trying to compete. And Jimmy Sexton's the best in the business.
And how can you be an athletic director and not want to work with work with Jimmy Sexton? That doesn't seem like a very good career move.
No, you can not want to, but it's.
But people are saying that Danny White has refused to work with Jimmy Sexton.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
It has a policy that.
I haven't heard that.
I've heard and seen it.
No, I haven't heard that being true. I heard rumors.
Yes, people are. Yeah. People are saying that's the word on the street, that Danny White has a policy to where he doesn't want to work with Jimmy Sexton.
That don't make any sense.
No, because again, it would be just an all-time bad career move not to work with Jimmy Sexton.
Yeah, like I don't know if you're AD that you would be doing jumping jacks and backflips knowing that you have to negotiate with Jimmy Sexton, because he is a shrewd negotiator. He is the best in the business. But that doesn't mean that you don't work with him, that you walk away from the table. No. So that just doesn't.
That means
Go ahead.
You're walking away from some of the best coaches in America.
It makes total. It don't make any sense at all. So I think this thing is getting blown way out of proportion, and it's being changed and turned, and to the point where, like, all right, an AD may not like working with agents in general. Danny White hates Jimmy Sexton and refuses to work with Jimmy Sexton. That's not the reason why this contract is not done with Tony Vitello.
Tennessee has done all it can.
Yeah, that's not the reason. So people coming up with these theories, that is not the reason why this contract is not signed right now. That's not the reason. You can't be an AD in the SEC and refuse to work with Jimmy Sexton. That don't even make sense.
Yeah.
That makes no sense at all. Jimmy Sexton represents the best coaches in America, and especially in the SEC. That makes no sense. So, no, I haven't heard that to be true, and it just doesn't make any sense in general.
Just like we also have not heard about Danny White holding up the possible extension talks. We have not heard a single thing about Danny White doing anything wrong during this entire Tony Vitello process. Have you? Have you heard a single thing that Danny White has done wrong during this whole Tony Vitello situation?
Tony Vitello has been presented with a new contract. He has had a chance to sign for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. But like you mentioned, Ben, he just wanted to focus on his baseball team and on his season. He also brought in Jimmy Sexton because he wanted to bring in the best to handle that stuff for him. He didn't want to get another contract like he got previously. He wants to be able to capitalize on all of his incentives and get the best deal for him.
As he should.
And the best deal for Tennessee.
Yes, as he should.
He wants the best deal for Tennessee, best deal for him, and still be able to do the renovations and all that stuff. Some people may say that Jimmy Sexton is anti-Tennessee, but Jimmy Sexton, he went to school here, graduated from here. At the end of the day, he has to do what's best for his clients. Tony likes it here. He loves it here. He wants to stay. So there's just a lot of things that have to be covered that couldn't be while the season was going on. That's the deal. There's a lot.
The Danny White stuff, Stokes, just continues to amaze me. Tennessee has a great athletic director, a smart athletic director that turned down opportunities at other prominent SEC schools, and because he made one comment twice that he has since come out and publicly said that kind of walked him back, admitted that he probably should not have made those comments. Yet people are holding a grudge on him and just want to blame him and present all these hypotheticals. It doesn't make sense to me, Seth, because he hasn't done anything wrong yet. Yet people still don't like him.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to be that way for a while until things are healthy and you get enough distance between the negativity comments and the text your buddy comments. Once you get some distance, like when Tony Vitello signs his contract extension, gets his new deal, things will get a little bit better. If football starts to improve, things will get a little bit better. As far as people viewing Danny White, there's a lot of things being said, like he's going to make a commitment to improving, the baseball stadium and the fan experience. He's making a commitment to improve the fan experience at Neyland Stadium. And the thing is, he ain't gonna make everybody happy. Like the proposed improvements in Neyland Stadium are gonna take some seats away, and it ain't gonna be 99, whatever it is. I can't remember.
102.455.
Thank you. It's probably not gonna be that anymore once all that's said and done. If it all comes to fruition. And that proposal, when it talked about the changes they were going to make and the fact that some of the seats are going to be taken away, people were complaining about that. I mean, he's going to catch flack just because it's the position he's in. Mm-hmm. Him and a group of people are going to make the decision to try to make things better. And just like anything else in life, you can't please everybody. And I'm behind Danny White until he gives me a reason not to be. And he has not given me that reason yet.
Yeah.
So I kind of ignore all the outside noise and the people who are a little softer and are easily offended, and just let the man either succeed or fail, because you get on Twitter and barking up a storm about it ain't gonna help anything. And at some point, you end up just looking like a curmudgeon that's unpleasable.
Yeah, jump on every rumor, generate it, every little theory, and then wonder why things are not going right. It's like,
all right, just let the man work. Let the man do his job, and if he sucks at it, he'll get fired.
Yeah, and then we'll rip him a new one.
And pay a new buyout.
Yeah, but we're not at that point. Stokes, we are at the point where you got to run and enjoy the rest of your Friday. That's the point we're at right now.
Yeah, that's true. And I hope y'all have a great weekend. I'm gonna be watching the Hawks play tonight at 8:30. Game 2 against the Bucks.
Let's go Bucks.
See Trae Young, break some more ankles, shimmy them shoulders again, and bust another 3.
Yeah, I'll be watching too, my friend. I'm going for the Hawks, man, just for you, Stokes.
Let's go, Giannis.
Man, I appreciate that.
I'm going for the Hawks, man. MLK jerseys. I want them to wear those on Game 3 when they're at home. I love those jerseys.
There you go.
All right, Stokes, man. See you next time.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Hour 2 is coming up. Be right back.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the happy face truck today.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 2 here on the Swain Event. Time for touchdown turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union. It is Friday, the best day of the week. We got Ben back in the studio. And I want to give a big shout out to our guy, Brad Matthews, man, for coming in and holding down the fort. Brad got a lot of stuff going on, life-changing events happening, but he still made time to give us a couple hours of his day. And this is Brad's passion, man. He loves talking about sports and commentating and broadcasting and loves Tennessee. So thank you, Brad, for coming in, man. Ben was on vacation. He's more on vacation than work.
Didn't feel like it.
I got video evidence to prove otherwise.
That's true.
Oh, man.
It wasn't all work, but 97% of it was.
Oh, man. Caden Salter dismissed. Touchdown turnover. That was the right move. Real simple.
Touchdown. To me, it was. Talked about it yesterday. I didn't think it was a hard decision for Josh Heupel is what I said yesterday. I know you agreed because you were looking at it kind of from a different vantage point, and I didn't necessarily disagree with the way that you were looking at it. I just looked at it from a different angle. You're just trying to establish a culture. He gets in trouble twice. The first offense likely much worse than the second offense, and I say likely because we don't know Caden Salter's exact involvement in the dorm room incident. He just could have been present or guilt by association. I mean, he did not get essentially kicked off or told to transfer like some of the other players who were involved. Whole isolated incident is worthy of being kicked off the team. Like, if that was the only incident, then no, I do not think that Caden Salter should be kicked off the team. But it's starting to become a trend, and you're starting to develop a culture if you're Josh Heupel. And he's a quarterback, and he should be held to a higher standard, because I don't know how you can expect to lead a football program if you continue to put yourself in these positions to where you can get in trouble. So I say touchdown. I think it was a pretty easy decision and the right decision to kick Caden Salter off the team. And I truly hope that he figures it out. I hope he gets it together between the years, gets his head on straight, and has success elsewhere outside of the SEC. I truly wish him the best and hope he can figure it out, because he is so talented and has the tools to be a very good college quarterback. And I hope he figures it out mentally.
Outside the SEC.
Outside of the SEC.
I'm saying touchdown. You know, it was right. It was right decision for Tennessee. I asked you that touchdown turnover to kind of lead into our next player who ran into some legal weeds, but he found himself getting out of those weeds, and different type of weed than Salter. These weeds actually grow in a flower garden, and are knowing Salter's weed is a little bit different. Anyways, so Aaron Beasley, and I saw some takes here and there, and it amazes me the strong takes that I see without updated information. It amazes me. You can have a take based on the current conditions, and then when things change, when information change, your take changes, and then people will get on that person for changing their take. Well, that's because the information changed. Yeah, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win it all. And then Patrick Mahomes is out for the season. Well, guess what? I don't think so anymore. No. You said the Chiefs was going to win. Well, that's because the information changed. Things change. Circumstances change. Well, the initial report surrounding Aaron Beasley suggested that Aaron Beasley had abused a cat. And we were all disgusted. I don't even like cats, but I was disgusted because it was still an animal. It's still a pet. But the information had to be sorted. Their investigation had to go on. He had to go get more facts. And after doing that, Aaron's case was dismissed. His case was dismissed. Quote, here's a statement. We are happy with the court's decision to dismiss the case against Aaron Beasley. As the defense counsel stated this morning, Aaron maintains his innocence and denies these unfounded and unproven allegations. But folks are still like, he shouldn't be back on the team because what he did to that cat. So there was an accusation that was made. There was an investigation that took place. And here are the results from that investigation. That's all we can go by. That's why he's being reinstated. That's why charges are being dropped.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either.
For everything that you just said, if the facts of the initial police report had been found to be the absolute truth, then yes, boot him off immediately. I believe I said those exact words at the same time. I thought it was a kick-off worthy offense. I think it's pretty cut and dry. I don't even think there should be much thought put into the situation based off of what was in the police report. But this is why there are investigations to
due
find,
process.
Yes,
Yeah.
to see if what someone is accusing someone else of turns out to be true. And in this situation, it did not.
Yeah, too many holes in the story.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I'm okay with him being reinstated. I mean, the facts change.
It's hard, ain't it?
You just said it perfectly.
It's hard to tippy toe, ain't it?
Yes, it's hard to tippy toe.
It's hard to tippy toe around yeah. Let's just say holes in the story. So Beasley was being investigated by a UT student that reported that the football player had abused her 6-month-old kitten. But without being too detailed here, her story had too many holes in it, okay? Too many holes in it. And that's why Aaron Beasley is reinstated and those charges are dropped.
And he paid for his involvement in it, even just being for putting himself in that situation. He paid for it. He sat out all spring. He was away from the team for several months.
Bingo.
While the process played out, while the investigation played out, and turned out that again that the story had too many holes in it. So I don't have a problem at all with Tennessee reinstating Aaron Beasley because it did not end up being near as bad of a situation as what it was made out to be when it initially took place.
So, more of the story. It doesn't really matter if you're innocent or guilty sometimes. It's the position that you put yourself in. It can still cost you. Aaron Beasley lost precious time. Mm-hmm. You lost two starting linebackers with the transfer portal. You have a new coach, new defensive coordinator. Here's your chance to shine. Aaron Beasley, you can argue, if you were inside that building, that Aaron Beasley athletically was one of the best linebackers we had on the squad. But because Henry To'o and Kavaris Crouch were the high prize recruits, they played over Aaron Beasley probably more than they should have. But here's your chance, Aaron Beasley, to go claim your spot. But because of the position that you put yourself in, whether you're innocent or guilty, it cost him precious time. It cost him a chance to nail down this defense and be the alpha on defense. Now, he's just now starting this summer and will be just learning a new defense for the first time this fall on the practice field. That's an example of, it's not about being innocent or guilty, it's about the position that you put yourself into. You gotta be aware of that. Young players, male, female, well, I ain't doing anything. It don't matter.
You put yourself in a situation.
Exactly. Don't put yourself in the position where it's going to cost you some time. So, good lesson for Aaron Beasley. Really a good lesson for everybody. So, glad Aaron Beasley is reinstated. Folks with these takes about acting like they were there. You wasn't there. He's reinstated. Charges was dropped. Let's move forward.
And
you wasn't there. You wasn't in the room when it happened or didn't happen.
As Volfan says on the text box, it also said that they allowed Aaron Beasley to keep the cat and dog that he owns because they, I'm assuming the police, did not see it as danger of him hurting them.
Well, that tell you all you need to know. I know one thing. They ain't like Michael Vick have any more animals.
Rightfully so.
When you get accused of cruelty to animals, they don't let you have animals. If they prove that, in fact, you were cruel to animals, they don't let you have animals. So the fact that he's keeping his pets tells you a lot. And it ain't because Tennessee is winning a lot of games and he's the star player either. So let's nip that in the bud too.
Can you point out a single Aaron Beasley tackle right now?
Nah.
A single Aaron Beasley play that he has made in the game?
Nah. Swain Event. Be right back.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Top 100 Barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
around the SEC. Never a dull moment. When's Vanderbilt going to lose?
Hopefully today.
Oh, let's go, Wolfpack. All right, man, what you got for around the SEC?
The big news yesterday is something that you mentioned briefly during hour one, and that is that LSU has hired a baseball coach. They have hired Jay Johnson from Arizona. Glenn reported earlier this week.
Gilbo.
Glenn Gazebo reported
Glenbo.
earlier.
Glenbo.
What?
No, Gilbo. Gilbo.
Can I call him Glenn Gazebo like Valdation called Jarrett Guantanamo? I feel like if Valdation can do that, I can call Glenn Gazebo.
Nah, man. Gilbo.
Glenn Gilbo reported earlier this week that it was between Jay Johnson at Arizona, Cliff Godwin at ECU, and Link Jarrett at Notre Dame as the three coaches that were in contention, the final three coaches that were in contention for the job. And 2 days later, Arizona's Jay Johnson will be LSU's next head baseball coach. Kendall Rogers broke that news at 6:15 as I was running across the Chicago airport for the first time.
Good hire, LSU.
That's right. It led Arizona to 2 College World Series appearances in 6 seasons with the program. Here's a couple of thoughts from some D1 baseball guys. Aaron Fitt, who covers college baseball for D1 baseball, said, "A fascinating hire for LSU. Will be interesting to see how a lifelong West Coast guy does in the SEC at the most pressure-packed job in college baseball. Jay Johnson can really teach hitting, very long track record with bats and recruiting chops, extremely personable, likable guy." So I thought that was good insight to Jay Johnson and LSU. Then Kendall Rogers, he tweeted a bunch about the Texas game last night. He had a comment as well. Give me 2 seconds. He also said that Tennessee fans should. Well, first off, I love how he started his Tennessee tweet. "I said a while back, Tony Vitello was going nowhere." Kendall, were you listening to the Swain Event?
Listen, man, I never was really that worried, man. Remember I told you, I was like, man, how you gonna wear that loyalty T-shirt like that? You can't wear that and just leave.
Yeah, and it turned out that he wore it on purpose. He admitted so. Was 102.5 the game yesterday with Joe Rexroad. So he wore it on purpose.
That man, he wore that in the SEC tournament too. Well, not the same one. I'm pretty sure he has multiple. Or if he doesn't, I'm sure it's clean. But he wore that same shirt down there, and that's when I was like, man, I know his name's being mentioned. That's a strong shirt right there, man. That's a strong shirt. I just don't see him going anywhere.
I just think it's funny, and I'm truly not calling Kendall Rogers out specifically, but there were a lot of national media members that just wrote off Tony Vitello as leaving Tennessee. Tennessee isn't this in baseball. Tennessee isn't that in baseball, and they're correct. But what they also failed to mention is that Tennessee was more than willing to commit to Tony Vitello and commit to the baseball program and the facilities. So Tennessee always had a better chance of retaining LSU than the majority of national media members gave Tennessee credit for. That was always the case.
I wonder what would have happened if LSU would have offered him.
I don't want to know the answer to that.
No, you know the answer to it.
I do not know the answer 100%.
You know the answer to it.
I think I know the answer to it. But if I don't think personally that it was a guarantee that Tony Vitello would have taken the LSU job if he were offered. I don't think he would have. Let me take that back. I don't think it's a guarantee, like I said a moment ago. I would have leaned in that direction.
And rock with it.
Lean with it, rocked with it, pop locked, and dropped it. That was another song that played at my concert the other night after Miss New Booty and backed that thing up.
You probably broke your backpack when you dropped it low, huh?
I was preparing for tonight's festivities in Atlanta.
I'm sure your knees are real sore.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just think it's funny, whatever, that the national media wanted to write off Tony as leaving Tennessee, and here we are.
Yeah. Always Vol says Ben from day one said that Tennessee had the highest percentage of staying. So Tennessee Tiger says, well, I would have been excited to have him at LSU. I won't pretend I wouldn't have been. I'm excited to see the SEC be stronger with Johnson and Vitello in it. Two young coaches who will make the conference stronger. Tennessee Tiger is an LSU fan who listens.
The best LSU fan.
Yeah, she's pretty cool LSU fan.
The best LSU.
She's a little bit more with the conference loyalty and stuff. I ain't with that. I want the conference to be weak. I want to be the Clemson of the SEC. I want to be the Ohio State of the Big Ten. I ain't ashamed to say it.
I'm a hypocrite. I'm two-faced, as I've said before in this issue. I love touting that Tennessee's in the best conference in baseball. Tennessee was one of the best conferences in baseball, but then I'm like you. I want the demise of the conference to take place.
No, we use the whole SEC stuff when it's convenient to our argument. That's it. We're hypocrites. When you're arguing with like a fan outside the SEC, you brag about your conference. We play in the toughest conference. We play in the best conference in America. Check out the NFL stats. Check out the recruiting numbers. We play in the best conference. But let one of your teams from your conference play an out-of-conference school. Oh, like today when Vanderbilt playing NC State. That's right. All day long, baby. All day long.
Last thing before we get to Turkey Man and Shane.
Okay.
I wanted to. I mentioned Kendall Rogers' thought on Jay Johnson. Found his tweet. He said that this is interesting, but a solid hire for Scott Woodward and LSU. Jay Johnson is a West Coast guy, but he has always coveted the SEC and is a premier recruiter and coach. Really happy for Jay on this one. So,
yeah, me too. I'm happy for Jay too.
Sounds like I'm happy for Ben. That's who I'm happy for.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Ben, Jason, Daniel, Thomas.
Yeah,
all these Tennessee fans.
Because that would have been ugly if Tony would have left. All right, let's get to the phones. Turkey Man is first. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up?
Hope you have a good weekend.
You too.
Save my call.
You too.
Good to see you back, Ben.
Thank you.
You was talking about all the stuff that went wrong with you and everything that happened. That'll make that time you spent down there more memorable. You remember everything that took place, and it'll help you remember that time.
That's one way to look at it for sure.
I was thinking about this Salford deal. I don't know all the story about him, and it's really and truly, personally, it's so easy to say, "Oh, it's just because he may be a good player." It really is not. This question I'm asking here really doesn't have. We don't know how good a player he's never been on the field yet. We don't know. We got an idea, but we don't know. But my question is this. I've seen, and I'm trying to think, and Swain, you'll be able to remember this better than I will, where we give a player from another place, another location, another school that got in trouble, a second chance by coming here. That has success. We make fun.
Alpha
we make fun of. Yeah, we make fun. We make fun of Saban by being the helping everybody like that. Second chance you of the big universities, I guess you'd say. We look at situations that's happened in Saban's court. I remember the gun and different things. One of these players, and I believe he's down in Louisiana. I believe I don't remember all the detail, but it looked pretty like he'd been out there.
I mean, that's what everybody was saying from Fine Bond on. But he gave him a second chance, and it worked out. My question is this. When a player gets in trouble, what do we do to help them? What do we do to really help them in the situation? Now we can say, all we did was helping his family and in that direction. I'm talking about him. What did we do to help him? Did we do the very best we could do? Because he's got some issues going on here. It's immaturity, but have we done the very best we could do to help him?
Yeah, there's resources around, Turkey Man. There's you have Chris Walker, former Tennessee football player that heads up FCA. What's that spiritual arm there, or you can call it spiritual leg. You have we've had players enter rehab secretly. We've had that. Other schools do that as well. But we've had players, go get help there when it comes to substance abuse. And we have psychologists on hand. I saw one when I was going through, some of the toughest times as a student athlete, and all my mentals was off. I went to go see psychologists, and so you have resources to get better. You have resources. You have help for a young man that's getting in trouble. That's why sometimes it's not the best move just to boot someone off on the first offense. If you can help it, if you go out and kill somebody, or you're running a sophisticated drug operation, I mean that's a little bit different. But like, if you could help it, you want to be able to help. And Tennessee has plenty of resources that a young man, if he gets in trouble or he is walking the wrong path initially, that you can help him get him on the right path. So that was, I'm pretty sure, offered to Salter, and they didn't take advantage of it, and that's why he's not here. So I wonder what's going to happen with Beasley, if anything's going to happen with Beasley. I mean, he was accused of something, proved it to not be true, and now he's back. Maybe you don't have to do anything with him. You just let him go on by his merry way. So to answer Turkey Man's question, yeah, there's resources that our players and athletes can tap into. They need the help. Let's go to Shane. Shane, good morning.
Hey, great Friday to all you guys. How are you?
Hey, good, man. Thank you for the phone call.
Yes, just a couple of attaboys to take with you into the weekend.
Okay.
Rolling through Twitter last night, I saw a mention about how John Wilkerson, voice of Tennessee baseball, had actually yesterday during the postseason celebration at Lincoln Nelson had actually stood in line to get some autographs from some of the team. And a couple of people, several people, actually even commented, on what a great guy he was and the humble attitude that he showed. And evidently he's just well loved in Knoxville among Big Orange fans and also media there in Knoxville. And, and then during the course of those mentions in that same thread, it was also mentioned that our buddy Swaino also at least one particular event, an autograph signing, I believe, with Eric Berry and Inky Johnson had also stood in line with his kids to get autographs, and hadn't pulled rank, hadn't pulled I'm a former Vol, or I'm important because I'm a radio personality here in town. And I also thought that actually reflected well upon you, Swain, and the type of character and person that you are, and also as a parent too. I think I appreciated that as well.
No, thank you, man. That was at Inky Johnson's book signing, his first book signing that took place at Kroger and Farragut. And my oldest, she was, golly, that probably was like 10 years ago. And yeah, we stood in line, and I remember to this day. I saw that photo, and it took me back, man. That was really, really cool. So, I'm no different than anybody else, and I just was soaking it up, man, taking it all in, how cool it was. So, man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. We appreciate you, Swain.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, I never met John Wilkerson. I hear good things about him from Ben and other folks, but I haven't met him yet. So
the nicest person in Knoxville, without a doubt.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting him one day.
Everybody should strive to be as nice and kind and helpful and so on and so forth as John Wilkerson. He'd get the shirt off of his back in a heartbeat to anybody. And when I saw that he was standing in line to get autographs of the players, that did not surprise me in the least bit, because he absolutely could have pulled rank because those players adore him, and so do those coaches. You're not going to meet somebody that dislikes John Wilkerson. So when I saw that did not surprise me one bit. As humble and as nice as they come.
Yep. So I mean, just man, we human. We stay in line like everybody else. But I appreciate that. I didn't know 10 years later I would get an attaboy for that. So
were you even doing attaboy 10 years ago?
No, man. I guess moral of the story is, you never know who's watching.
That's right.
Yeah, you never know who's watching, dude. Be a good person. Try to do the right thing. You never know who's watching, and I appreciate that, Shane. That made me feel good right there, man. Thank you. What time is it? Oh, 8:45.
Time for attaboy.
Yeah, it's time for attaboy. It's time for a break. It is Friday. It's a happy Friday, man. Here on Rocky Top. At least I think it is. I think it's a happy time. We'll continue with the Swain Event after this.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam, where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks. Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Always remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
All right, it's time for Attaboy here in the Swain Event. Attaboy is brought to you by Iris Networks and irisnetworksusa.com, your go-to for fiber internet and voice business owners. 90 days, no payment for business internet when you join Iris Networks. All right, so I have an Attaboy. Ben has an Attaboy. I think I need to go second because it's a pretty strong one outside of sports. So, Ben, what do you have for us?
I have a couple of sport attaboys that I'd just like to point out. Nothing lengthy, but just tidbits I'd like to point out. The first one goes to Kennedy Chandler, Tennessee's freshman point guard. No longer signee, but a freshman point guard. He made the men's under-19 World Cup team roster. And the 12-member team will go for gold at the 2021 FIBA under-19 3rd to the 11th in Latvia, whatever. So Kennedy Chandler making the 2021 USA Men's Under-19 World Cup team. So he gets an attaboy. And then I'm giving an attaboy to Shea Weber. Remember old Shea Weber? Former captain of the Nashville Predators, defenseman.
Yeah, man, I know Shea.
They traded him for PK Subban.
Yeah, I know Shea.
So Shea Weber, who was my favorite player by far when he was with the Predators, and the captain of the team for many years, an awesome hockey player. He was traded, and so he never really got to go through the Stanley Cup run with the Preds, and he got traded to the Montreal Canadiens, and he dealt with like a broken foot that cost him a season or a good chunk of a season, and then the Canadiens weren't good there for a couple of years. But now the Canadiens are going to the Stanley Cup Finals, and Shea Weber is the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. So I was happy to see Shea Weber, my favorite player there for the Preds for a while. One of my all-time favorite Preds. He's that gritty defenseman that'll knock you on your butt. I love Shea Weber, so I was happy to see him be able to get to go to the Stanley Cup Final, since he didn't get to experience that with the Preds, because he played a big role in helping get the Preds to where they are today as more than just a new franchise in the sport of hockey. So I thought that was cool. My last one that I got, and this is the best one that I have. Go check out a tweet from Tennessee Athletics yesterday at 1:30 at Vol_sports. They tweeted out a short 5-minute video honoring Tennessee rowing's Gia Hodges because she is the recipient of the 2021 Wilma Rudolph Student Athlete Achievement Award.
Wow.
And in the tweet, it says, unimaginable responsibility, unshakable courage. Vol Rowing's Gia Hodges managed a life as a collegiate athlete while also serving as a caretaker for 2 parents.
Wow.
So she's a caretaker for 2 parents while being in school on the rowing team. And the rowing team doesn't give out scholarships. That's pretty much, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it's a glorified club team is what it is, because it doesn't hand out scholarships, and it participates in the Big 12. I mean, most SEC schools don't even have a rowing team. Tennessee has to compete in the Big 12 in rowing. So I mentioned that to say that she's got all this on top of her plate, and it's not like she's playing a sport that she has scholarship money for. She may have academic scholarship money, obviously, and whatnot, but just a ton on her plate. So much on her plate that people her age, quite frankly, do not deserve at that age. And despite all of that, She has been a tremendous success story and just an awesome person. So she won the 2021 Wilma Rudolph Student Athlete Achievement Award. And like I said, UT Athletics tweeted out a video, an interview with her explaining her story yesterday afternoon. So I encourage everybody to go check that out.
That's powerful right there, man. That's powerful. This attaboy goes to a college student, and I'll just read a little bit of the article here. It says, while these days the internet regularly delivers instant gratification, overnight fame, there's a little chance Florida A&M University's Jabari Richardson was thinking about getting likes or retweets when he pulled over his car, opened the trunk, and passed out shoes, clothing, and other items to a homeless man standing by the side of the road. The college senior, who was in the process of moving, decided to give his things away rather than selling them. Was good karma. Thankful to have more than he needed, he was able to simply pass it forward. He says, as I was growing up, my mom almost always taught me there's a lot of people that are in need. Not everyone is blessed as I am. My mom always had clothes and shoes on my back. I can definitely take that for granted. Anything can be gone in a blink of an eye. Richardson, without him really knowing, during his selfless act, the driver in the car behind him captured the entire event on video and posted it to TikTok with the caption, "I don't know this young man, but he deserves to go viral." And that's exactly what happened. 6 million views to date. Local reporters also tracked Richardson down, and the story made the evening news. So we're used to seeing a lot of negativity in the news. Negativity sells, but glad that this story hit the news and went viral. So I'm giving an attaboy to this college student by the name of Jabari Richardson. It goes to Florida A&M University. So he gets my attaboy for today. A little outside of sports, but man, your attaboy, attagirls is powerful today. So just a good day for recognizing the good deeds of others. Chad Ray says I was out flying late, just woke up.
Really? Out flying late, huh?
Yeah, I think Chad Ray's a pilot. I think he's a pilot.
I'm just now finding this out. Chad Ray couldn't help me out yesterday. Come scoop me up in Chicago.
I don't think Chad's trying to go to Chicago.
Come scoop up an integral part of the Swain event.
Integral part of the Swain?
Integral, I don't care this morning.
I don't think Chad Ray trying to hit up Chicago in the summer, man. I think that's the place you can stay away from during the summer. Even the airports. Just might as well just go and stay away from the airports. But yeah, Chad Ray said he was out flying and just woke up. Have y'all addressed D.R. Voll's obsession with Twitter receipts? Do y'all need to have an intervention on this to help his next marriage? Dude is a pro at that stuff for sure. Nah, man, D.R. Voll is doing some good work, in my opinion. He's doing some good work, in my opinion. Doing a good job. Jennifer Moore says, Wilkerson is a fine Fountain City guy. Jennifer representing for Fountain City. Brandon Luckett says, I heard Folky broke his wrist. Any truth to that?
Yes. According to Rob Lewis of AllQuest, who posted on the General's Quarters last night, John Fulkerson broke his wrist in practice. Don't know if it was his shooting wrist, left wrist, right wrist. Don't know necessarily how it happened. Don't know the severity, but he broke his wrist.
John Fulkerson need to drink some more milk. He need to drink
Quit
whole milk.
eating pals and drink some whole milk.
He needs some whole milk, man. That's what he need. Whole milk and calcium.
This summer, I put you on the sideline for what, 2-3 months? At most.
I was out actually. It happened in middle school. Once in football, one in basketball. So
I mean, I would say at most 3 months. I think it's safe to say at most 3 months is the amount of time that he would miss. End of June, so July, August, September. I mean, they'll be doing good to get him back in the middle of preseason practice.
The good thing about
which is not good.
Well, the good part of this, and it's not good, but like the bright side of it is that John Fulkerson's issues last year wasn't physical. It was more mental. It was more mental, man.
It was more mental, yes, but I think physical issues,
the
COVID, and back injury and tonsils or not tonsils, but wisdom teeth. It just kind of all piled up.
Yeah.
And to me, I think he was actually dealing with a wrist injury as well. He was dealing with a wrist, a back, COVID, and wisdom teeth don't dictate how he plays, but you just add that in there because it happens in the middle of the week, in between games. It's just one thing after another. It just piles up. It just adds up. So I agree with you, but I do think the physical issues maybe helped contribute to the mental issues because the physical issues is kind of what sparked the poor play.
I get what you're saying.
And he just couldn't mentally recover.
Yeah, hopefully he's been hurt enough at Tennessee. Hopefully he's able to kind of fight through that mentally. I think for this basketball team, he needs to be assertive and vocal. He wasn't that last year, and it's hard to do that when you hurt and not feeling yourself. But last year gave him plenty of experience to be able to do it this year. And guess what? It came in handy because he's hurt again. So, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But he shouldn't be out a long time. I wonder what degree is it, if it's a shooting hand or not. I think it's 8 weeks. I think it's 8 weeks.
That's 3 months.
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
2.5. That is a long time. It's weird because on one hand, at least he's a veteran. I mean, it is his 6th season. I would rather John Fulkerson. Sorry, Folky, but I'd rather you go through this than Brandon Huntley Hatfield or Jonas Adu.
Yeah, because he can handle being hurt and dealing with the mental part of it.
He understands what college basketball is.
Yeah,
he's experienced.
6 to 8 weeks is what the internet say.
So a month and a half to 2 months.
Yeah, it was somewhere around there when I broke mine, but it just depends on
everybody's different.
The severity and kind of the location. And I probably added a couple of weeks to mine because I took my cast off in the middle. So
probably not a good idea, especially when you play football.
Well, whatever. Let's get to Daytona. Daytona, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man. You sound good, man. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back, Ben. Glad you made it through all that nonsense at the airports.
Thank you. I saw your message on Facebook. I was about to message you back.
Number one, apologize before I even talk because I'm a little emotional and dealing with some health issues on my end that I just found out about at the beginning of the week. But I don't know how closely people have been following the news. This is not sports related, by the way. We have an officer in Daytona Beach that got shot in the head the other day. 26 years old. 26 years old. And he's in the hospital fighting for his life. Down in Miami, we had a condo, one whole side of the condo collapsed. There's upwards of 70-something people missing. Kids, moms and dads, grandparents. And we look at our lives and we wake up and we worry about all the problems that we have. And we never realize what other people are going through. And all I want to say today is we're not guaranteed anything. You better figure out what you love, and you better love it with your whole heart because you're not promised it tomorrow. I can't imagine being the mom of that cop sitting at his bedside. He's so young, he hasn't even started his family. But I'm just going to go on that because otherwise I'm going to get very emotional. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, thank you, Daytona, man. You're 100% right. You know, the clock is ticking the moment we enter this world, and Daytona's right. You better tell the people that you love them, and do the things that make you happy while you can. So appreciate you, Daytona, for reminding us that each day is a gift. Appreciate that, Daytona. Hope you have a good weekend, man. Hour 3 is coming up. Hour 3 here, the Swain Event, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here. Thank you for making the Swain Event part of your day. You can download the free Swain Event app for Android, Apple devices. You can view the show on YouTube, Twitter, and on Facebook Live. Tennessee took the L. Took an L from Texas on Tuesday in baseball. But there's a chance for some redemption.
Chad Ray flies helicopters.
You get in the helicopter?
Nah. I'm good. I get my happy butt on the plane. Although yesterday I would have taken a boat. At one point, I looked up how far of a drive it was to Nashville. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Straight down 65?
I mean, it was 8 hours. That's not bad. But it was 6:30 when I looked. I would have gotten there real late, and I wasn't about to pay for a rental car. I heard one person in the airport say that it was $1,300 to get a rental car to drive to where he wanted to drive to. I was like, nah, I'm good.
I used to fly probably 3 or 4 times a month, and there was times I would have to fly standby, and bam. There was a time there was no more planes left. No more flights left for the rest of the night, and I had to stay the night.
I thought that was gonna happen to me. Although so the flight that I got on, by the skin of my teeth, they let 3 standbys on out of 17, and I was second on the list. So I got on, thankfully. But if I had not been able to get onto that plane, because I'm going to Atlanta today for a wedding, I would have just flown straight to Atlanta. There was a flight to Atlanta like at 9 o'clock that night. I was just going to fly to Atlanta and get a hotel room and get there just a day early. And the wife was going to meet me there. And then somehow find a way back to Nashville to get my car. So and if not that, then I was going to stay in stay in the airport overnight, because there was a flight leaving in the morning for Atlanta. The next earliest flight in which I could get a bona fide ticket for to Nashville was Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m.
Yeah,
so I was going to have to fly to Atlanta and just meet my wife there, which not ideal, but would not have been the end of the world. But I was either going to catch that last flight of the night to Atlanta and get a hotel room, or I was going to sleep in the airport overnight and do the show from the airport tomorrow morning and then fly to Atlanta.
I'll tell you one thing. I would have made you do the show from the hotel room. But
no, I would have been in the airport. I had on the way there, they took the radio equipment from me because they ran out of overhead. But this time I got smart.
What'd you do?
See? I'm street smart.
We'll see about that.
Here's how. So they announce Group 1 can enter the plane first.
Mm-hmm.
You know who else they announced with Group 1?
Standby.
Active military members.
Okay, all right.
You know who has a military ID on him at all times?
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
You know who can't tell who's active and who's not active?
Especially with that buzz cut you got.
Civilians. So when they said Group 1 and active military members, you are now good to enter the plane.
They should know, because you got beard. You're supposed to be clean shaven.
But if I'm on leave, you can grow a beard.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make
My
sure.
dad always grew a beard when he was on leave.
Okay. All right.
And traveling.
So you just walked on up like
I walked up like I was active military.
There you go.
And before she could even ask for my military ID, I was like, here's my military ID.
Boom.
Playing it off. And they let me on. So I was able to get the radio equipment on. And it was with me at all times yesterday, which when I was running across the airport 3 times didn't necessarily go all that well. All that luggage I was carrying around on top of my backpack. But whatever. So I had the equipment with me. I could have done it from the airport. How about that? A Swain event from the airport. What do you mean?
No, we good. We would have just figured it out, man. You didn't have to do a show from the airport.
I would have had nothing else to do.
Too much background noise.
Who cares? It's the airport. It's not a ton of background noise in the gates.
Definitely a lot of background noise.
No.
Volfan says 6 to 8 weeks for broken wrist. That's 2 months. A month and a half to 2 months. So, well, folks should be okay. But
forgive me for not being a doctor.
After he gets out of his cast, if he's in one, then you got to worry about that range of motion and things like that. So he'll be all right. Let's see here from the text box. Vol Birmingham says needed that this morning Daytona. Vol Storm says operators can grow a beard.
Mm-hmm.
BC1 Cam says so wrong for abusing your power, Ben.
I think I'm just showing my street smart.
Yeah, man, Ben had to get back. He had to get back to serve you, BC1 Cam. That's what he was doing. That's what he was doing.
I should have listened to Nelson. I should have called Turkey Man to get Turkey Man's plane. Turkey Man could have picked me up. Ben, you should have called Turkey Man to pick you up in his plane. Y'all might have flown to New York to get to Nashville, but at least you would have got home.
Oh, man. Golly. Yeah, Vol fan. At 8:04, good message there. I agree with you. Let me see what's up here on YouTube. Donovan says Clippers. Yeah, I fell asleep during the game, man. I'm going for the Suns, to be honest. I'm going for the Suns and the Hawks, which would be a boring NBA Finals. But I want to see.
Think that would be boring.
It would be boring.
It's boring if you're looking at brand name, but I don't like Trae Young, but he's fun to watch. I don't like Devin Booker, but he's fun to watch.
You like Devin Booker?
He went to Kentucky. I don't like his personality. We've been over this.
He's the closest thing to Kobe playing in the league right now.
How?
He's the closest thing to Kobe. He's a killer. He got killer instinct, can handle the ball, can shoot it. He's an offensive juggernaut. Defensively, he's pretty damn good too. Like I heard people say that he's closest thing to Kobe.
You're the first person I've heard say that.
Well, you've been in baseball mode last couple of days.
No. I listen to basketball podcasts all the time. More than I listen to more basketball stuff than you do.
Stephen A. Smith and Magic Johnson said it.
Oh, you going off what Magic said?
Magic Johnson?
And did Magic send off his tweet last night? The Clippers defeated the Suns. That you going off what that guy has to say?
It's a really good comparison.
I've truly never heard that comparison. I've never thought of it. I just
look at the league.
I think Devin Booker is great, but comparing him to Kobe?
No, I say he's the closest thing to Kobe.
Well, okay, tomato. Like the same, like even saying he's the closest thing to Kobe seems egregious to me.
Damn, you can't even mention?
No. I don't even like putting Devin Booker in the same sentence as Kobe.
Kobe's the closest thing to
some
him.
people argue that Kobe's the greatest basketball player of all time.
They can argue that. But like
I'm not putting Devin Booker in a guy that's arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. Top 2, top 3 at minimum.
He's the closest. That means Kobe is so great that doesn't mean Devin Booker is like right there at his heels. That just means out of everybody in the NBA, Devin Booker's game is the closest to Kobe. And that doesn't mean it's close. It can be, it's far away, but he's just the closest his game is. And like I actually kind of agree with that assessment. But I mean, you may not, if you don't like his personality, that's one thing. That's cool.
Yeah, that's why
I love his game.
No, I said he's a great player. I'm the one who just said that not Jamal. I get him and Jamal mixed up. Forgive me. But him and Devin Booker and Trae Young, I'm the one who just said that those two going up against each other would be fun and exciting, and you said it wouldn't be.
I don't think the Hawks Suns will be exciting.
I do. It'd be more exciting than the Bucks have been boring this postseason. They've been skating by. They got lucky with the Nets being injured.
I don't like Giannis's game. I like Giannis, but I don't like his game.
I like his game.
I don't like superstars who can't shoot.
Still finds a way to score.
I know, but when it comes to shooting, he gets to the free throw line. Whoo, the booty cheeks get real tight.
Still dropped 35 on you.
He's good, man.
That
he's
is good. The team.
I just don't like his game.
I get it. I want the Bucks to win just because Giannis is my favorite player remaining. I hate the Clippers, dating back to the Grizzlies Clippers rivalries, and never really been a huge Paul George guy. Hawks, definitely don't want the Hawks to win. Just not a fan of Trae Young's game. Can't wait till they eliminate the little fouls that go in favor of offensive players because they bump into the defensive player and award the offensive player with free throws when the defensive player was just standing there. I can't wait for them.
Yesterday.
Huh?
I said Paul George did it yesterday.
Did he? I wasn't able to watch the game. But I can't wait for them to get rid of that this offseason. So I'm not a huge fan of the Hawks. And then the Suns, I don't dislike. Chris Paul, going back to those Clippers-Grizzlies games, feels weird rooting for Chris Paul. But I wouldn't mind seeing Chris Paul get a ring. He's one of the all-time greats and one of the best players to never have a ring. So And he has really impressed me the last couple of years with dragging that Oklahoma City team to a heck of a season, and then just a year later, look at the Thunder now. And then the Suns were awful for so many years, and then Chris Paul gets there and bada boom, bada bing, helps elevate Jamal. I keep getting Jamal and Devin Booker mixed up. Helped elevate Booker and Ayton, that young team, and help them get to where they are. But Giannis is my favorite player left. I'd like to see him get a ring.
It's funny that you don't like.
And I have no ties to Milwaukee.
Players. You don't like former Kentucky players, but you're okay with former Alabama football players.
When they play for my team, yeah. Just like I was fine with JaMychal Green when he played for the Grizzlies as well. I was fine with Andrew Harrison playing for the Grizzlies until he proved that he sucked.
Oh, man. That's hilarious.
Thankfully, right now, the Grizzlies have a bunch of, like, Pac-12 and Big Ten guys. They've got Kyle Anderson, who went to UCLA, and Tyus Jones. We have a bunch of ACC players, a bunch of Duke players. Justice Winslow, Grayson Allen, Tyus Jones. We got Michigan State players, Xavier Tillman, Jaren Jackson. I don't think we have an SEC player on our team at the moment. Thankfully. I hate rooting for
your new favorite running back at the Steelers.
Oh, look, I'm going to love rooting for Najee Harris, but I'm going to feel dirty doing it.
Let's see. Other McKee, asked about recruiting. How do we get the number one running back recruit on campus, the 2022 class? So there's a big recruiting weekend this weekend. And how has you been kind of during the break? Of all the guys that will be visiting and some of the names that we should be paying close attention to. So, Ben, who are some of the guys, the most notable guys that will be visiting this weekend?
We've got a full list over at VolQuest if you would like to check out the entire list, but don't want to give away everything, obviously, so I'll give you the key ones. The biggest name is Branson Robinson, who was just asked about on the text box, and I think that was in addition to another question that was asked as well about Branson Robinson. Somebody asked about Tennessee's chances there. I kind of think it's a long shot, but hey, you're getting him on campus, and he has a great relationship with running backs coach Jerry Mack. So who knows what may happen there? But he's from Whitehaven, which is technically in Mississippi. So he's like from Mississippi, but we're not Whitehaven.
You talking about South Haven?
Yeah, South Haven. Sorry, I get them mixed up. Like I get Devin Booker, and
Whitehaven's in Memphis, right there by
He goes to
Graceland.
He goes to Germantown, so which is the Memphis area, but on the Mississippi side. So he goes to Germantown High School in Madison, Mississippi. But he's the number one running back on Rivals, the number one player in the state of Mississippi, the number 16 overall player in the country. So always good to at least just get a guy like that on campus, and you already have a great relationship between Jerry Mack and Branson Robinson. So who knows what may happen, but it does feel like a long shot there. But he is the most notable name that will be on campus this weekend. Cam Miller, a receiver from Memphis as well, 4-star receiver. He'll be on campus this weekend. You've got a big-time offensive lineman that the staff is really high on. Mo Clipper from down in Georgia. He'll be here. Caden Pope, he is the cousin of Latrell Bumpus, a receiver, an athlete from, I believe it's Hardin County in Savannah, Tennessee. He'll be here. Quintel Jones, a defensive tackle from Georgia that is trending well with Tennessee. He'll be here. You got a couple commits that'll be here. Brody Foley, the tight end from Cincinnati. Vincent Sneed, the defensive lineman from Florida. So those are kind of the names that stand out. And those are official visitors. In terms of unofficial, Isaiah Horton, a fellow 4-star, along with Cam Miller. He's from Nashville. He will be on campus this weekend as well. He was going to take an official visit, but they pushed that back to the fall, and he will still be on campus on Sunday for a cookout that Tennessee is doing. So even though you're pushing it back to have him here for a game day in the fall, you still get him on campus this weekend. So those are kind of the names that stand out. that will be here this weekend. A lot of names. It'll be the most busiest weekend of the month as recruiting comes to an end, at least official visitor-wise, in the month of June. And then July is kind of vacation month for the coaches. Players will go back home for maybe a week or so and get rested up and get their mentals in check for football season, because we are less than a month away from SEC Media Days. And because Tennessee moved the opener from Saturday to Thursday, fall practice starts earlier, and I believe at the tail end of July. So just about a month away from fall camp starting as well. So football season is practically here.
It's around the corner, man. It's going to be here before you know it. And thanks to Tennessee baseball for, keeping us distracted, with how they've played. Like I was talking to someone yesterday about how SEC Media Days is around the corner. And then usually after SEC Media Days, we're talking like 2 weeks before the start of fall camp. So it'll be here before you know it. And I'm looking forward to kind of seeing how different things will be. I'm not going to sit here and expect a certain number of wins, but I'm just looking forward to seeing like the changes that are made, the changes in players, how different this team will move. Who's going to step up at the quarterback position? Who's going to step up at other places? There's a lot of players that left the Tennessee football program. And some of those guys were starters. Some of them were not contributors. How will this team come together? And so we're going to learn a lot, when we start fall camp. And guys are sore and tired. I think that's when you see the best of a team and what the team is really made of. So the changes are what I'm looking forward to the most. The results will come when it comes, but I want to see the changes with this football program under Josh Heupel. So football is around the corner. We'll get to the text box after this break. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit. You get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
All right, it's time for what here on the Swain Event. A lot of talk in NBA circles about Scottie Pippen's interview. I think that was it with GQ? I think it was with GQ. But he talked about his time with the Bulls and being labeled the sidekick. He talked about his dust up with Charles Barkley when they were with the Rockets, and then he gave his opinion on LeBron and KD. And so, man, that's been entertaining to see, for sure. And of course, King Josiah 54 on Twitter coming with that heat, the best Twitter account on the website, coming with that heat, man, with the memes. So, all right, it's time for what?
I already gave my for what.
Who'd you give your for what to?
My travels yesterday. Mother Nature. I'm not laugh on a Friday, so if you missed my travel debacle yesterday, then go back and listen to the opening segment on the podcast. That will be posted momentarily. That's my for what today.
Las Vegas Raiders owner Mark Davis got into a mini car accident on Wednesday, and we mean that in more ways than one, according to TMZ. TMZ Sports has learned that Davis was involved in a wreck with another vehicle in a shopping complex near the Vegas Strip. It was a minor fender bender. Nobody was hurt or seriously injured. I'm not giving him for what. I'm just mentioning it because it's not something you would expect. But Mark Davis is worth $500 million. He was spotted near TJ Maxx and he was driving a Mini. You're driving a Mini. And that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. You need to drive around in a freaking Lambo just because you're rich, even though, hey, if you want to do that, you can. But accident in a Mini. Just weird. Just weird. I mean, I guess you can give not attaboy, but for what to, you mentioned the part of the game that you hate in the NBA, and it's going to be changed. The rules going to be changed by next year. So Paul George basically pump faked at the three-point line and leaned into Jay Crowder. Like, busted him up, man. Busted him up. Jay Crowder was on the ground for, more than a little bit.
And Jay Crowder does not flop.
No. He one of the tough guys in the league, man. He would be. I think Tony Allen would appreciate Jay Crowder's game.
Tony Allen does appreciate Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder was with the Grizzlies for like 4 months last year, and I remember hearing Tony Allen talk about him, and he loved him.
Yeah, he a dog.
He's built different.
Yeah, he a dog.
Which is, he got traded to that Heat team and really helped that Heat team that made the finals last year.
And he's with the Suns, so he brings a level of toughness. He's a real 3-and-D type of guy, man. He can shoot it, plays great defense. But I'm giving him for what to just that rule that continues to be allowed. I think it's going to be changed though. I heard him talking about how it's kind of in the stack of rules and things to address in the off season. But I hate it when offensive players initiate the contact on jump shots.
I despise it.
I
hate it so much. It's not basketball.
Yeah, I hate that. So they're gonna address that. They're gonna fix that moving forward. Nila Mafia says, "Have we covered the Supreme Court ruling against the NCAA and its further ramifications?" He says also Will Wade can blanket. That's what he said.
But what about Tim Tebow?
Don't get him going on Tim Tebow, man.
I saw where he said something about Tim Tebow yesterday.
Oh, dude, don't get Nila Mafia going on Tim Tebow. We know how he feels about Tim Tebow. We know. We didn't really have a deep dive into how Congress torched the NCAA. Several judges torched the NCAA a couple days ago. I read it, looked through it. We were so deep into Tennessee baseball. We didn't really cover it. It is certainly going to affect every school in America. Of course, I'm rooting for Congress here to continue to call out the NCAA. I mean, I don't know what the NCAA is going to do and how they're going to be able to counter what Justice Brent Kavanaugh said about the NCAA, basically, calling their operation illegal in other industries. We are looking, I think, what we know of college football, what we have known it as for the last 15, 20, 30, 50 years, like that's coming to an end. Like, it's only a matter of time. It's about to change in a huge, huge, huge way with the NIL and then players eventually being able to be paid. We're approaching it, so I don't know if that helps Tennessee or hurts Tennessee. I couldn't imagine it hurting Tennessee, honestly, because Tennessee is one of the big dogs in the sport that could use their resources to compete at a high level. It stinks for some of the smaller teams that won't be able to if NCAA is abolished and you can basically do what you want to do. So they are caught between a rock and a potential devastating antitrust lawsuit. I looked at it, read it, but man, just so deep into Tennessee baseball and what's going on with football, haven't really.
We mentioned it I don't even remember when it was. I think it was last week. We mentioned it last week when it took place, or earlier in the week, that Congress was dunking Keon Johnson style on the face of the NCAA, and that they thought it was ridiculous that athletes don't have certain access to things. They're not allowed to do or take part in paid internships, things like that, which it is ridiculous. That's a job. Why can a student athlete not get a job? It's stupid things like that, which makes zero sense as to why they are a rule. But it's the NCAA, and Congress is dunking all over the NCAA for stupid rules like that.
Yeah, Saturday you took a flight to Omaha. Monday was the court ruling of Austin versus the NCAA, and Supreme Justice Brett Kavanaugh criticized the NCAA and says nowhere else in America can businesses get away with not agreeing to pay their workers at a fair market rate on the theory that their product is defined by not paying their workers at a fair market rate. Under ordinary principles of antitrust law, it is not evident why college sports should be any different. So it's only a matter of time. He says that the NCAA's business model will be flatly illegal in almost any other industry in America. So it's just time. It's time for conferences to come together, conference commissioners to come together, and come up with their own rules, break away. It's time. It's been time. School presidents, conferences to get together and figure out a way to try to have a even playing field, even though it won't be. But it's time for schools to stop allowing the NCAA rule over them. It's only a matter of time before it's going to be abolished. So as much as I despise the NCAA, I won't say I'm like afraid of what football is going to look like, tomorrow or 5 or 10 years, but I know it's going to be drastically different. And I just hope
there will be schools that have an unfair advantage too.
Yeah,
compared to lesser schools.
I just hope that the pageantry of college football, where you got fans tailgating for hours and hours, man. You got players that it means something to them to put on the uniform that they're wearing, and they give it their all, and they putting their teammates first. Like I know this is gonna change. It's already changing, because every time I see a recruit putting on a uniform at a school on a recruiting visit, that hurts my ideal college football scenario more and more. Like, I just think it's a privilege to put on the Florida State Seminole helmet, or the Clemson helmet, or the Alabama helmet, Tennessee helmet, the wing helmet in Michigan. Like, I think, like, you got to sign the paper to be able to put that stuff on. And all these schools allowing these kids to put it on before then, I don't like it. And I think it diminishes the what college football used to be. When you add the money into it, that's another thing. So I'm just hoping that it doesn't change it to the point where it's not watchable. Because for some people, man, the NFL became a product that for some people they couldn't watch it either. And I just hope that college football doesn't change too much to where, folks just don't want to watch it anymore.
I'm afraid that it will.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that it will.
Yeah. Supreme Court, not Congress. My bad, Jonathan. 77 Vol. I didn't take civics 101. So Supreme Court. Bless you, bless you.
Are you happy that I'm back in studio?
Yeah, man, I'm happy you back. Absolutely, man.
Sneezing and all.
Yeah, man. Happy you back. I wonder if you were sneezing in Omaha. Maybe you're allergic to the studio.
I did not. I actually noticed that my allergies did not bother me a single time while I was in Nebraska.
Maybe it's Knoxville, like the worst place for pollen, it seems like.
I think it's something on this microphone that I breathe in.
Wow.
Like a fungus that you've let develop or something?
Hey, man.
Or you like sprinkle it with,
you the only person
sprinkle it with pepper before I come in here.
You the only person that used that microphone for the last 3 years. So maybe it's you.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's you.
But I'm gonna blame somebody else.
Blame Brad. 865-255-03. Irish Networks hotline. When is Tony Vitello gonna sign? I'm expecting things to get a lot clearer in the next couple days. Season's over. Tony's recruiting. Has to start thinking about the roster. Probably a good time to let the recruits and the people that don't want to transfer in, let them know that you're not going anywhere and get this deal done. So Tony's and his side, Tennessee and their side, working together to get a deal done that's good for everybody. Good for Tony, respects Tony and his work that he's put in, protects him with some guaranteed money, and but then Tennessee has to take care of itself too. You can't allow any agent to rob you blind. So this is why you negotiate. You try to find the best for both sides, and that continues to go on. And hopefully in a few days, it will be finalized, and we'll know for sure that Tony Vitello is here at Tennessee. We'll take our last break of the day. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Good morning, Swain Event crew. As the weather heats up, so does our market, and from Johnson City to Knoxville, eager buyers are grabbing up many available properties. The chili is hot in East Tennessee, so if you are ready to buy or sell or want to talk more about our local real estate market, I'm just a phone call away. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam, where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
Let's get to the Irish Networks hotline and wrap up today's show and wrap up the week. Let's get to Volstorm. Volstorm, good morning.
Ben is back.
I didn't. What do you mean? I've been on the show all week. Am I really actually back?
You're actually back in Knoxville, though.
Yes, but like to the listener, it doesn't make a huge difference where I am if I'm on the show. I mean, I know that it does sound different. I'm sure it sounds better when I'm in studio, but
well, you don't sound like you're dying like you did when you were hungover the other morning.
I wasn't hungover. I was hungover on fun, that concert.
Thought about starting a GoFundMe to get you some Red Bull this morning.
I think you should start a GoFundMe anyways for Ben McKee, regardless of what it's for.
Swain, I figured you'd do Ben kind of like you do Chris Lowe, only bring him aboard during the baseball season.
Nah, man, Ben, it felt like Ben was Chris Lowe during baseball season. He was, he was an expert and covered the baseball team better than anybody else, and he felt like little Chris Lowe.
Chris Lowe texted me yesterday.
Now when are you gonna do these outlived his usefulness?
I wish. Chris texted me yesterday while I was in Chicago and said, "Are you still in Omaha? Can you get me a T-shirt?" Nope, I just left Chris. I'm sorry. A day too late.
Oops, sorry.
He could order his medium from on NCAA website.
Chris Lowe can't fit no medium.
How dare you disrespect Chris Lowe like that?
Oh, I love Chris Lowe, but, let's be honest. It's like fitting me into a medium.
That's like trying to fit you into a large.
I won't lie, that's true.
Me too. I'm getting there.
When it comes to the whole Supreme Court ruling, I'm 100% for the players getting paid, or at least for the opportunity to go out and make money on their, name, image, likeness, to be able to go get a job during the off season, during the season, whatever they want to. The only thing I would look at a little differently is the fact that you're absolutely right. This is going to impact those smaller schools because when they start having to pay players, the smaller schools are going to run out of money, and they may eventually do away with football because they can't afford it.
Well, they just won't get the good players. It's still the same number of players coming out of high school each and every year. They just won't get the good players. Their chances of getting the good players, I think, will go down.
But what about the opportunity for some of these guys that have to go to smaller schools? They're not going to get showcased like they do now.
I agree with you, Volstorm. I think there's going to be a big discrepancy in the big school and even the medium schools or the middle of the road schools. Like there's not going to be and to me, when I say discrepancy, I'm referring to like a big advantage for schools like Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, but also like Tennessee will have those same advantages. So Tennessee, if they get out of its own way, they'll be able to compete with anybody in the country because at a place like Tennessee, you have the resources to take care of what you need to take care of. But there are some schools in the conference, even just in the SEC, that Vanderbilt already can't compete. They're sure as heck not going to compete now. Missouri, no chance that they have the same resources. I have a hard time believing, and maybe I'm just being ignorant and not aware enough of the University of South Carolina, but I have a hard time believing that South Carolina has the resources to compete with schools at the top.
They have
on a consistent basis.
My question is, how much different will it be than what it already is right now?
I guess right now, to me, you're right. There isn't a big difference of what it will be, but to me, what the difference will be is that at least South Carolina, in theory, has a chance to maybe pull themselves out of the gutter. I think with what's about to take place, there's just zero chance for those mid-level schools, the schools who aren't in the top tier, those tier 1, tier 2 schools. I don't think the schools below those tiers are going to be able to ever pull themselves up out
No.
of their current situations now, because these other top schools are just going to have this clear-cut advantage and just mop the floor with everybody.
It's going to be a case of the rich getting richer.
Yes, and the bottom of the totem pole getting poorer.
Yep.
Well, as long as we're at the top, I don't care.
Tennessee will always have the resources to be successful.
Yeah.
And very successful.
I
It's
ain't
just
worried about Tennessee at all.
we don't. Well, I worry about how they use their resources because they don't know
Yeah.
how to use their resources properly.
Yeah, that's all I care about. As long as Tennessee on top, I don't care nothing about the little guy.
I don't either, but we were talking about college football as a whole.
Guys, before I go, Ben, it's good to have you back. At least you don't have Mississippi State merchandise in your house. See you, boys!
C-Mac, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
How y'all doing?
We are wonderful, man.
That is incredible. Great call by, the great, Vol Storm, as always. You know what will be different between now, Swain, and once this, whatever the hell they call it, goes into effect?
Say that again.
You know what would be the difference between the players, quote unquote, getting the bag now and then, them, profiting off of their likeness?
The only difference is they have to pay taxes.
Exactly. Only reason why the Supreme Court came with that heat, because they know they're about to get that check.
Mm-hmm.
They know they're about to get that bag off these kids, where the NCAA was getting this money directly 100%. I mean, I guess it's a real introduction to the real world for these kids. I guess it would be impossible to say, we can allow these kids to make money off of their likeness, even though other businesses for years have been doing the same thing. But let's not tax these kids. Let's give these kids, a proper start to their future. But no, that ain't the world we live in, right?
No.
McKee, glad you're back in the studio. Not really. You sound a little bit better. You don't sound like you were dying. When you take your funky, nasty, smelly self from dinner to a club with a backpack, dancing and sweating, don't act like that. Where you live at.
He used Febreze
while you was out of town.
He used Febreze and Axe body spray. You good?
No, man. No, you gotta at least stop by the hotel, hit that bird bath. Will smell good.
Yeah, all right. He didn't sweat that much. He was in the press box.
He ain't saying nothing to me. You realize that? He is like mad. Super mad. It's all good, McKee.
It's good to have him back, though.
It is, man.
I wish he was still there
this.
covering in Tennessee, but,
Well,
we'll be back.
Or still there watching, NC State possibly, win a College World Series. But I will give McKee this. During this season, there was a day where I turned on a Swain event, and Swain ain't there, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna, let Ben, take the ball and run with it. And unbeknownst to me, he teed up, an incredible interview with Coach T. But I know a lot of people have been giving you your roses. Ben, it's been one hell of a season, and you made it even more special, man. We're proud of you, and hope you keep doing what you're doing, even though you caught in your feelings like Drake right now.
I appreciate the kind words, my friend.
All right,
No
C-Mac.
worries.
Good stuff, man. Good
All
stuff.
right, man, be easy.
You too.
We got to get to your guy Rusty, who is significantly better than you.
Yeah, we made some changes to the show a couple of years ago that allowed Ben to have more of a presence, and he's earned that right, man. He's earned it, And so I'm glad folks are recognizing what we've seen in Ben from day one here at the Swain Event and Seth Stokes.
I appreciate the kind words.
Let's go to appreciate it. I don't have any more for you this week. Let's see who
Rusty.
is there. Rusty, good morning.
What up?
What's up, Rust?
Living, man. Ben, thanks for everything this year. Trying to make it quick. You were fantastic. Swain, thank you for getting in this baseball fever too. It was a great run. Now that baseball's over, LSU hired their guy. We can get on to, we're about to have a fantastic first year of exciting, entertaining, at least fun football where every game we lose 51 to 52 and we win a few 55 to 50 and we go 7-5. We're about to have a great year of that. We're about to have a bunch of good returning basketball players after that with a number 2 recruiting class in the country coming in basketball. John Fulkerson's going to be fully healthy by the time they start really doing any kind of real practice from that hand injury. And then baseball season is going to be here in no time, and it's only going to get better too. We're about to have a great, great year going forward, starting today as Tennessee Volunteers. Everybody get on board.
Decade of the Vols, right?
I don't know about a decade, but it's going to be a damn good year.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Yep.
All right.
Things are moving in the right direction, that's for sure.
Hey, so can't raise your hands because we're on the radio, but cough. So somebody cough if they think LSU did not approach Tony Vitello for the job. All right, that's what I thought. For everybody out there thinking Tony didn't get approached and Tony didn't turn him down, believe what you want.
Now, Tony did not meet with LSU in person, but it was...
He made it clear, though.
LSU made it clear through other outlets.
Yeah. Guess what? He told him. I think Tony made it clear. I don't think LSU made it clear. I think Tony made it clear. And that's our story, and we're sticking with it.
Yeah, LSU's AD was at the College World Series, and he had his eyes on Tony Vitello. He did.
And Rusty, you can't be telling us to cough in the COVID era.
I thought Rusty was giving a physical for a little bit.
Rusty is not giving me a physical.
Turn your head and cough, Ben, if you think that Tony Vitello was contacted by LSU. Oh, Rusty, I think this is a little too much, Rusty. Oh, man. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Monday morning, 7 a.m. We'll be back, man. Lots of recruiting that we'll have to cover. Big recruiting weekend for Tennessee football. Who knows what happens with Tennessee baseball and Tony Vitello. With our luck, he may sign right now and it be released. Who knows? So we'll have a lot to talk about on Monday. We hope you have a great weekend and a safe weekend. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Peace and love. Have a great day.